welcome to Green Pines Creative Coworking and Events. We are a for-profit benefit corporation. We're also the headquarters for the Green Pines Creative Collective. And essentially, our parent company helps artists who've aged out of systems like foster care monetize their art and music. So, for a tour, this is our largest event space. It's a little over 1,000 square feet. We kind of kept it a blank slate, sort of, so it's all about the decorations. We're gonna go into the conference room called the Salazar room. And again, we have a lot of light portable furniture, so it can be used for different things. This mural is actually done by a local artist named Eileen Salazar. That's why it's the Salazar room. One of the things we like to do with this space is when people come through the doors, it's about the art, the music, the event, or creativity. Even though we do serve young adults who've aged out of systems like foster care, we try not to make that distinction. So unless they tell us, we don't know if they've been in foster care. And so that's kind of the case with this particular mural. I had no idea. She told me after the fact because we kind of met her through, you know, some other folks. But yeah, it's just, I love the fact that it has so much diversity and just so pretty. We've things out. So we're gonna go into the Palmer room next. So this room is named after Green Pines media artist, Jamia Palmer. This is all of her artwork. Jamia is our most active artist. So she got her own room just because she does so much work down here. Jamia actually lives in the valley, like out past North Hollywood, but she's starting to develop a pretty nice local following in Long Beach. So she keeps her artwork here, and if she has, I don't know, a show or something, she can come and just grab it off the wall, go take it. And then this is her first mural that she actually did. And some of the other artists once, because I'm not an artist like this, but some of the other muralists, I should say, when I see their techniques, I ask them questions, they teach me things. Wow. If they are able to be here, they will teach some of our artists. Because again, it's still life skills, but it's just in the context of things they enjoy. And then we were able to help her with that. We videotaped it so she'd have something for her digital portfolio. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see, so down here, these are where the restrooms are. And this is kind of our space corridor.
Oh, wow.
So this is a mural by a local artist named Kale Lalonde. And Kale told me that she's been painting this image since she was in middle school. And when I saw that she used these colors and it was space theme, I immediately thought about Doctor Who. So that's what the murals are on the doors. Those are all the TARDIS from, the spaceship from Doctor Who. And then we have a couple of, or a few pieces from an artist out in LA, Tito Gonzalez Blaine, that are kind of space themed as well. All pieces by Kale Lalonde as well. Some of the prints here. And then this one is my favorite one of her. It's actually a self-portrait. She's also a filmmaker. And in her film, she was painting this because it was like central to the plot. And the fact that she brought it here, I'm just like, my heart's so full. So yeah, there's this one. And then this is by an artist in the Inland Empire, Artrell. He's the one who just had his art show here this past weekend. When we first moved into the space, our intention was to turn this into a commercial grade recording studio. But at the time, pandemic, there were supply chain issues. It just didn't make sense financially. So what we decided is to just make it more like a general music room. We have a booth, but that's more sound dampening. Our intention is to get an actual audio recording booth though, that's large enough to hold a drum kit. So at least we can still record music here when we want to. And we have a really neat producer who's gonna be helping us out, bringing in all of his equipment and working in here as well. A lot of the furniture we have here was donated by a really awesome person who owned their own co-working and event space in the Glendale area. And they were just tired of California. They left and we got all of their furniture. They just literally gave it to us, which is so amazing. Yeah. They just love the mission that we have. So the instruments, people can use those. Sometimes when our artists are struggling and maybe they can't, meet rent or something like that, we're always trying to find innovative ways for them to generate revenue or, earn income. So if they know how to play the guitar, we suggest things like, well, see if you can start lessons. And at one point, their first thought was, well, I can't, I don't really have stable housing. I'm like, well, you can come here and do it. So that's why we have the instruments here, keyboards, or if they just want to have jam sessions or something like that. Walk around all of this stuff here. Let me move this out of the way. These are not on the wall yet, but these are some of the Green Pines media artists. So Anthony Gray, Nakai Love, Nigel Roman, not Tupac, of course. And then over here, watch your step, Adriana Sunshine and Michael. This is the butterfly room. And this is the one office we have downstairs. The mural was created by teens from the United Cambodian community. This is normally space 18 and up, but their program manager asked if, they could come in and paint. And I was like, of course, as long as they're supervised. So this was really, really neat, and we'll show you another one that they did as well. But we try to keep this one available because we don't have a working elevator on site. And so if someone has a disability, they can't walk up the stairs, they can come and use this space. Down the orange hallway, and this was the other space that the teams from the United Cambodian community created, which has this effect of like movement as we're walking down, which is so neat. And then some of our artists had asked if they could put like a black curtain across it and maybe use it for videos or something. So this is our private office area. Let's start with the offices over here. Oh, one thing you'll see though is a lot of like bright colors and patterns. So, because everybody needs content, and that is helpful. This is our purple room. So, it's Prince theme. We have a couple other Prince images we want to put in here. And then people can move the furniture out, move different furniture in. They can bring their own furniture. If they are filmmakers, they can even bring in curtains, things like that, and make a bedroom, whatever fits. So it's a creative space for creatives. We try to make it flexible for them. We also have digital keys. So let's say, I've seen like a lot of co-working spaces will have private offices, but they prefer to have a monthly rate. Our target demographic, they can't necessarily afford that. So because we have the digital keys, we could also charge by the day, or in some cases the hour, but we try to make it by the day for that flexibility. So that's the purple one. And the yellow room. I usually try to say room instead of office because it could literally be whatever. So the yellow one is a little bit larger. We put the desks in here so that people could see the space. And whenever you see the black wall in the private offices, that's chalk paint. So they can write on it and things like that. Which essentially is the same as the purple. It's just my favorite color. So areas just to hang out. Shared printer. This is our meditation room.
Yes.
That's funny because some of our artists were bickering about this because of the brick wall. So we just said, well, we won't, make it an actual office. It will be the place where people can just kind of relax and hang out. We also have an on-site music therapist who happens to be a yoga teacher as well. Wow. So sometimes she'll do things in front of the little mural here, and we have the diffuser. I think this has, it's eucalyptus, not mint, but we have the diffuser and a little fountain there. So it's like this sensory thing, at least it's supposed to be. So there's that. I'll leave that on for a bit. Oh, and then this does, if people need it to even take a brief nap or something, that's actually a futon. People like me who are on TikTok way too late at night and not getting sleep. This is another mural by the same artist who did the logo downstairs, LeJean Miller. He did this one. And this has been, it was kind of a project that we came up with together. I'll have to find the original photo, but I had this image of me as a little girl because all I did was read. Like, I like books more than I like people, I think. And I remember telling him like years ago, I have this image, it's just a little girl with Afro puffs sitting on a stack of books. So I did a stick figure and he made it this. I'll have to show you the stick figure at some point because I'm a terrible author, illustrator, drawer, whatever. I always thought that LeJean and my husband were in cahoots to do this painting because this is actually a book that I wrote. And I always forget to tell people I wrote a book. So it forces me to say, I wrote a book and actually talk about it. But yeah, they did that one. And we have some open areas here. Oh, that's another one of LeJean's pieces over there on the table. A couple of sound dampening booths for phone calls or Zoom calls. Trying to avoid traditional cubicles. So what we did was, because I love Marvel, we just put Marvel posters in there. So honestly, this is just like a big playhouse for me. So we actually have an app as well. So if people want to reserve one of the workstations, they can do it by the hour, the day, or the month as well. Wow. And they'll know which is theirs based on the character. So these are called Everblocks. They're super light, and you can build so many things with these. I love them so much. Wow. So if the demand isn't here for one of these types of offices, we can break these down, create something else, or expand and make more. Oh, and then this one was actually styled by Green Pines media artist Danielle Jelks. These are from, they're a company called Gallery Panda. We found these at Long Beach Comic-Con and then discovered that you could do custom images. So we're gonna start doing some of Jamia's artwork with those. And it's just, what's lit up, it's the same panels on the sides, it's just that one is in a light box. Oh, wow. So we'll do some of these with Jamia's artwork at some point. And then, I don't know if I mentioned this, aside from the furniture that was donated, a lot of this furniture is recycled. Like we have a guy who, that's essentially his entire business, is getting business furniture and redoing it. So that's where this came from. And it's so neat because you can sit up top, you can sit on the bottom. So if people don't want to rent like the conference room for a meeting, they can have an outdoor, one like this. And then this mural is from a local artist named Omar Martinez. Their whole family is just like amazingly talented.